And okay, good. So it looks like I've got the chat window up. If that doesn't work out, ooh, no, that is too big. So we'll just turn that off. Okay. Yes. So, let's get cracking. This is what I like to call a mega zigger or an ultra null or an omni null. It's hit about 20 hours of playtime right now. Let's end transformation. And at this point, I have 10 ziggurats cleared, and I just opened an 11th, which I was about to clear, and I figured, you know what? If this guy's gonna die, I'd like you guys to see him die. The most important things to have when doing these ultra zig characters, the items you're building towards are orange crystal plate armor with this Arch Magi boost, heavy AC bonus, and clarity built in. And the elemental staff, which is both an elemental enhancer as well as double tiers of resistances to most things and an AC buff. It's just fantastic. Those together will cover most of my resistances and give me near perfect will. You throw in Lich Form for the added pips of resist negativity and infinite poison resist. Of course, Lich Form's a necessity. And there you go. Your character is halfway home. Clear out a couple of ziggurats using a mix of ignition and what's the one? Ignition, infestation, tornado, and shatter. And yeah, you're doing great. I probably should unmemorize Spellforce Servitor and Orb of Destruction. I haven't used them in several zigs at this point. Actually, I'm just going to do that now. Lord knows I have the amnesia for it. Servitor in particular is completely useless. And I don't want to be casting an Orb of Destruction. I'd rather spend 2 more mana and cast Absolute Zero, so that can go now. And that leaves me free to pick up a few new spells. I'm going to pick up Death's Door, which I will probably never use, because by the time I would use it, I would be dead, but, you know, it's there. And Summon Horrible Things is probably not a terrible call. What would it... I'm thinking in terms of what I would need to survive when everything goes to hell, and I'm not sure what the answer is. I guess Chain Lightning might be nice to have. I didn't realize invisibility was still available as a castable spell. That's cool. Death Channel could be interesting. How does Death Channel work? I've never used that spell before, but I'm curious if it works on... Does it only work on living things? Living creatures, yeah. So the only floors it would matter on, like Panlord floors, etc., it wouldn't actually help, so forget it. It's unnecessary. I guess Borgnor's Revivification is probably the only thing left that's worth taking. For when, again, as an emergency panic button. I don't need ignition anymore. I basically never use it, so yeah. You guys, this is something else that I tend to do in these kinds of ultra mega zig runs. If you look for artifacts, I don't know if Unrand is searchable. You'll notice that I've brought out most every unnamed artifact so far that I find, and I try to keep an ongoing pile of every Unrand that exists in the game to add to my giant library of Unrands. Unfortunately, none of them will ever see use because they're never going to be the best. You could argue Wukadmu, honestly. And yet, I still find some joy in getting them all out. All right, enough beating around the bush. I've got everything here. The experiment I'm running this particular zig is I've put on rampaging boots in favor of as opposed to stealth boots. I think I might get a little more mileage out of that free movement action. I don't yet have evocable blink in a place where I can spam it. I've been meaning to drink a whole bunch of mutation potions at some point to get a better set than this. Of these, I like these two quite a bit, and I don't really care about these two, and I want to get rid of this one. But I'm not ready to play Mutation Roulette just yet. I probably should, but I don't feel like it. All right, Brilliance and Magic. You should probably wait on Haste, but let's just go for it. First floor, easy floor. Right off the bat, it looks like I accidentally did not. It looks like I unmemorized the wrong spell, so it's a good thing we found that out nice and early. Just clear this mess up. I would like Ignition to be memorized and Irradiate to be not memorized, and I apparently did that backwards. Okay. Art and Zig. Any artifacts in a ziggurat floor I always want to know. Even if I don't take them, I want to know what I'm leaving behind. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not too worried about these initial floors being in any way challenging. They're usually just a couple spell casts away from full cleared. Nothing of note. Used to be that your magical aura would persist floor to floor. That is no longer the case. Raising them all as spectral zombies would actually have slowed down my clear time. So it's a good thing we didn't do that. All right, deeper and deeper, way down. Now, there are floors that still threaten me heavily. I don't know how to deal with mass orbs of fire just yet. I'm not saying it can't be dealt with. I'm saying that I think my AC is perhaps not, or my raw health is not where it needs to be. And this is, at the end of the day, not a multi-zigging. This is not a demon spawn who can get powered by pain to be like truly invincible. So I'm always going to be a little bit less than that. They can more easily handle those fire floors because every kill gives them back so much. I specifically like to be invisible for these situations. Those ghost moths can drain all my mana and then lock me in a state of low to no mana for far too long. But if you're invisible, they can't see you, and there aren't really a whole lot of there aren't really a whole lot of other drain threats that worry me, which is convenient. Ooh. Alright. Encrusted Demon Blade. There's literally no weapon in the game that will serve as a... There's no random artifact that will serve as a spell enhancer. Therefore, I don't even have to check most weapons unless I'm specifically looking for an alternative to a evocable source of blink, which, you know, I guess I should. They're just excess baggage I don't have to worry about. Okay, buff up and down we go. The first several floors typically go very smoothly. I'm now making enough money per floor that I don't mind spending liberally on buffs. My logic is if this number ever gets below 100,000, only then will I start paying any attention to how much things cost. God, I wish that that was my real life position on money too. All right. That should be a full clear. The one way that you will die in a ziggurat is being silenced, and possibly have your buffs stripped off by quicksilver of some variety while silenced, so you can't put them back on, and then getting tormented to death. But that's a lot of things that have to happen at once, and you're typically not going to get hit by all that at once. So, cool. And if you do, I mean, you try and survive anyway, right? Like, I have a distortion weapon to get myself kicked out of a ziggurat into the abyss if all else fails. I guess that plus Death's Door maybe to force yourself out. Good. There's a good argument to be made that I shouldn't waste my time picking up all that gold. But that is ultimately, I mean, I'm not exactly going for a low turn count here or anything. I should really wait on haste and brilliance, but I'm just going to take my chances. And yeah, I didn't have to wait. These guys are going to go down in 2 casts, maybe 1. Now, unfortunately, one of the many properties on one of the many jewels I'm wearing is Star Corrode, which means when I take enough damage, I start getting corroded. Fortunately, it typically doesn't happen that I take any damage at all, so it's not the end of the world. Okay, good. Let's grab some money. And as you can see, I am maintaining a very healthy 140,000 total. I'm actually gaining, not losing net. So that's good. So far, I've lucked out. Every time I've taken the time to be invisible, I've been on a floor where that was relevant. Somehow got hit and got corroded without taking any damage. But they're all dead, so what does it matter? Blink towards, charge towards with rampaging, and burn them all down again. All right. Clear that up. Well, I can't deny I'm curious, but again, there's literally nothing that can be that's going to be better than what I'm wearing. So when you have the best in slot, you don't need to look at everything. Not invisible. Okay, these floors are difficult. Not difficult. These floors, the amount of damage output you can take is very high here. The Juggernauts typically, and the Thunderhawks, I think, or Iron Giants will survive the first fireball firing, and the Fire Giants will deal you a ton of damage. So you do need to land a second or third shot to finish things up. And that means the longer that I'm here, the more damage I'm taking from per cycle. But if you get a bunch of kills off, it triggers your Gozog gold confusion aura. So I guess what I'm trying to say is don't take too long setting up your attack on a floor like that. Just go for it. Good enough. Nothing of note. And we're, again, net profitable. We're spending approximately magic and haste and resistance and invisibility and brilliance. We're spending about 2 grand per floor. Oh, easy floor. Good. Have we made it down to the 10th floor or not quite yet? Let's see. Yep, past the 10th. So we are, next floor would be sort of the early half point of the ziggurat, I guess you could say. And it should go without saying, but I'm a Gnoll, so I maxed out all of my skill needs somewhere around the 2nd ziggurat, I want to say. Which means I am an expert in everything, dodging, dodging, invocations, armor skill, fighting with any kind of weapons. You name it, I'm good at it. Another trick of mine is I've alphabetized a lot of my core equipments so that when I pick up a bunch of extra stuff, I don't have to go digging for it. It all alphabetizes to the bottom, and I can more easily decide what I'm not keeping. Haste, Might, and Brilliance are nice. So I'm not... Oh, I am invisible. Okay. First move is a blink, and then a charge. Oh, I am loving the rampage ability, actually. It's that tiny little extra bit of oomph. Why is it so dark here? Oh, because the smoke on the water is firing the sky. Turn on a tornado, just in case there's any stragglers, and finish them off. No unrans for the first half of the ziggurat. There is at least one unrand, I believe, that I haven't picked up yet that I would be interested in, and that's the 7 League boots. The idea of see an enemy and charge right up to them is tempting, and at least as long as ziggurats are not always spawning fully packed, there will be value in that. Even once that point happens, I can still see some value in, you clear a bunch, and then you have to cross distance to make it to the rest. So, maybe. The double step there from Rampage is nice. But if I had 7 League boots, that would have been one turn, get right up against all of them and blow them all down. Alright, you all dead. Nothing of note, so I do not care. That's fine. That's even better. You can absolutely trigger Berserk as many times as you like while you're a Lich. It won't trigger, and so that's kind of like a negated ability. Or really a freebie. Lignification is the only one that's really a problem. It cancels out your Lich form, forces you into tree form, and you're assuming that some of the gear that melds has intelligence on it. It might have been, something that you were relying on. Of course, not at this stage of the game. At this stage of the game, the only problem with lignification is you were trying to put buffs on before you went in, and that includes Lich form, right? Well, now you've lost Lich form, so you're going to have to lose the mana to recast it. And on top of that, you're a freaking tree. So waiting that out. All the other buffs that you've acquired from potioning by that point would probably be lost. All right, well, I'm gonna start hacking at some of these and just get rid of them. That's effectively not that's not. Oh, do I not have see invis anymore? I do. Okay, good. Nope. I am in the market for an excellent amulet, and I haven't found one yet. Okay, I just found it. I am currently rocking Reflect, which does give shield +5, but this gives Regen, which is a good property, and Evocable Blink, which can be used even when under the effect of silence. That's an important ability for me. I'd be dropping my shield skill down below 38. That's a downside. Getting 1 point of intelligence, that's kind of a wash. For the time being, I'm going to go for it. The reflection ability itself is not actually that important. Anything that I would have blocked sufficiently to be able to repel it, I've already blocked it at that point, so it doesn't matter. That doesn't come stapled with intelligence. That's too little intelligence to care. That's too big a downside to care. Nothing good, and not good enough. Okay, so I am now rocking Evocable Blink and Invisibility, which is great, while still maintaining an absolutely epic spellcasting capability. Let's go with Pan and Extended Haste. Okay, that's good enough. I'm not invisible. And I don't need to be. Good. I took 40 damage there. That's not good. You guys took incalculable damage. That's very good for me. Hell Sentinels are a real pain to kill. But they do not try, generally speaking, to attack when you are in melee with another character. So it's even more important than average to be hugging your enemy in these situations. I heal 30, get my magic back, and kill everything. These guys, by and large, are heavily resistant to fire, so I'm using quite a few other techniques, including Shatter and Tornado, to finish things off. Oh, for the love of God, people. Ooh, Amulet of Vitality. That's a nice one. Regardless, I'm taking it with me when I leave here. I think I would rather have the 15 HP less, but Evocable Blink. Another interesting fact is that Evocable Blink is one of those things that I can get as a mutation. So when I play Mutation Roulette, if I land on Evocable Blink, then I might not need to worry about that coverage in my equipment. Oh, I didn't see that there was a cloak. I'm usually interested in these. Int +4, this is definitely worth looking into. So int +4 matches my current intelligence. See Invis is a duplicated property and stealth is meaningless. So it's kind of just int +4 with See Invisibility. But that does open me up to not wearing Crown of the Diprova, which, if I recall correctly, I have a better hat out there for an alternative to the blink ability. So there might be another set that's worth using. I'll hang on to this for now. Haste Brilliance, heal wounds. Good enough. Let's evoke invisibility before we go down. I'm telling you guys, I am. It's almost like I have some vision of the next floor. Every time I've made it a point to be invisible or I've gone invisible, I have yet this particular run to enter a Ghost Moth floor without being invisible, even though I've chosen to just wing it for several floors without waiting on invisibility. My God, they're all completely strung out looking at my gold. Torch and pop. Whatever's left, we'll just tornado it to death. Alright, you know what? One more burn ought to do it. Net gain of money despite the incredibly wasteful approach I've had to it. What is that? Not interesting. Sometimes you get really good bonuses on these items. I have a +3 Gauntlets of War somewhere in my stash. I'm currently favoring the bonus to intelligence, but that might be a wrong call. I don't know. Haste and Brilliance, Invisibility, and Might, and everything else. Good. Ooh, not a fan of this setup. Alright, we're about as deep in as we can get. Let's burn it all before I get quicksilvered. That should kill most of the dragons, and more importantly, it should give me a brief respite for the ones who are left who are going to be confused by all my gold. And we'll torch again, and that should kill off what's left, except for the stragglers. So the thing about multi-zigging is, I don't want to say it's boring, but it definitely gets repetitive in the end. The fun factor is obviously being able to do things that normally you would never get to in a game of Crawl. Like, win confidently. Oh my God, so much difficulty getting these guys pinned down. Alright, turn on the tornado. That's the other thing, is slow down. I don't think this game was intended to process quite so many enemies per turn. Even just the concept of having Mega Zigs is relatively new. I mean, it's not actually new or anything. It's been here for a while now, but I was definitely playing back before Zigs became bigger with each completion. Oh, I'm dumb. I have Ozo's Refrigeration. I should be using it in these situations as an alternative AoE spell. You get Shatter for ground-based enemies. You get Tornado for air-based enemies. And of course you get, for the fire-based enemies, you get Ozo's Refrigeration. Yeah, I'll extend the haste even further. Let's evoke invisibility. Off we go. That deep enough? Yes, deep enough. You guys don't like fire, do you? Yeah. Ignition definitely has more damage in these situations with a packed cigarette than Ozo's, because Ozo's is a fixed amount to each target, whereas Ignition scales with the number of adjacent targets, which obviously in these ziggurat situations is maximized typically 6 to 8 adjacent targets. But when you've tried one, it's worth trying the other to see if you'll hit enemies that have certain vulnerabilities to one element but not the other. Kill ground based. Oh, just freeze you. Just kill you. Still nothing. You can leave it behind probably. Yeah, I don't want it. When I'm down to 30 or less scrolls of identify, I start paying attention. Otherwise, just spend them like candy. Lord knows I don't need them. Otherwise. We got 150 yet. Yeah. Zig floors are now very rich. We're making a lot of money off of them. Alright. Let's finish this up. Last stretch. I literally don't care about entering these terrible clouds because, again, I have near, if not total, immunity to most of it. And normally you would have to wait a while for this condenser vein to recharge, but again, with the number of enemies I'm killing and at the speed I'm killing them, it recharges in a couple turns. Alright, we're gonna burn everything, and anything that lives will freeze, and that should be the end of this dungeon escapade. Okay, what's left? Stragglers. What's left? More stragglers. Alright, we are out of mana, but not out of Bull Spit and Moxie. Okay, it just occurred to me that I'm actually not super confident what's going to happen next, so let's just go ahead and gas these guys. And that will probably recharge my condenser vein in short order, but it'll also help me get through this middle phase. Or I could just summon more magic like that and just torch you all like that, you know, the efficient way. That's what I get for trying to have fun with it. Alright, you all dead? Except the ones who don't care about fire. Or in your case, fire or ice. Shatter would be the way to go for you. Alright, what do we got here? Chainmail, bunch of rings. Let's pick up the rings and let's go. We're at 150 grand. We don't even have to pick up gold anymore. Again, I can afford to waste 50,000 at this stage, right? So, what's another couple? Alright, maybe those multi-league boots weren't introduced in this game. I believe that. I am on version 0.26 after all, so it might have been introduced after that. Multi-haste. No brilliance. I do want brilliance specifically, actually. Thank you. Oh, I love the rampage in this situation. Gets you right up to where you need to be. And then you just kill everything and move on. New rampage active. Okay, so what just happened there is I stopped being adjacent to a monster. And so Draconians who before were not taking a shot for fear of hitting their own started taking shots at me. Like right now is the worst possible place to be. I could get killed here. Let's just go ahead and kill all of them first, so that's not as big a concern. And just fritter them to death. I will get a heal here if at all possible, and an invisibility and might. That will drop the number of enemies I have to deal with significantly. Heal wounds, curing, and haste, and magic, and all that good stuff. Please, thank you. Yeah, more of that, please. Okay, another torch and pop. Getting nice and right up in there so they don't shoot me, and kill what's left. Okie dokie. That was a scarier floor. Lost 100 health. It's more than I've lost pretty much the entire ziggurat. Ooh, regen MP, MF, fire and int +4. No, evocable blink is better. Evocable blink is just straight better. And I try not to open acquirement scrolls inside the ziggurat. It hardly matters to wait just a few more minutes, and I would rather not risk overloading my pockets in this situation. Zigart. Nope. Brilliance and haste, the most important properties. I'll take everything else as secondary, but I will take it. Okay. Oh, okay, it's one of these floors. Irritating to the last, but not actually dangerous. I am going to infest a block of enemies or two, just to maximize my survivability. Alright, between those two, we shouldn't have a problem. And then we're going to light them all up and take a look at the bottom right over here, and I'll tell you. Oh, it doesn't mention how many death scarabs I have, huh? I'm going to have to clear out some of these other enemies first, huh? Okay, still nothing. That's frustrating. But as you can see from the screen itself, I have a veritable swarm of these spiders, and the purpose of the swarm is not actually to kill things. That's just a beneficial side effect if that happens. Rather, the goal is to significantly increase the number of targets that are getting hit by nasty stuff that aren't me. Clearly, I am more than capable of holding my own, and I think now that I'm past the half point of clearing the cigarette, I think I'm past the half point anyway, I'm probably just going to wipe out everything that moves. Also, one more last cast, and then just dear. Shadow time. Yep, see, it kills all the cursed skulls pretty much right away. Good. Alright. Floor 22, 5 more and we win. We've managed to make it through this ziggurat without a Panlord floor or without a Orb of Fire floor. I can't shake the feeling that the game's trying to set me up to lose by lulling me into a false sense of security, etc., etc. Obviously, that's way too anthropomorphized. But what? I didn't know intelligence went that high. The Dex -5 is awful. The RF minus is not that big a deal. N plus 10 is massive. I have evocable invisibility on that ring. This might be the only N plus 10 I've ever seen, certainly in this game. So that it wasn't. I guess the ring of the hat of ponderousness has it. I might hang on to this. I don't know if I'm going to use it or not because I like my current mix of abilities, but I'll hang on to this. The thing to understand, and I guess I should mention this, is if you look at my spell power, it's already at 100%. And that's without having done the brilliance boost and all the other boosts that I tend towards. So in a very real sense, it actually doesn't matter. Invisible, please. I don't. Oh, another death floor. Perfect. This time I'm not going to bother with the scarabs. I'm just going to go straight ahead and blow everything up. If my health drops to below 150, I'll start thinking with both sides of my brain. But not having the death scarabs around means I can kill the cursed skulls much more efficiently, since I'm not worried about killing allies at the same time. Okie dokie, are you all done now? Bone dragons also are particularly susceptible to shatters, so the 1 or 2 enemies that are standing after my massive firestorms, or not, I shouldn't say firestorm, after my massive ignitions, are enemies that are generally going to be vulnerable to what I'm going to do next. Lots of cool shit, nothing I want. Not a chance. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, let's see what this is. Not a chance. Oh, what do you got here now? Not interested at all. Alright, good enough. Next map, please. Hasty Brilliance. Doesn't matter, extend the haste longer. Invisibility, that's nice. Off we go. Well, I didn't get Quicksilver blasted yet, so that's a plus. Nothing more frustrating than spending all that time buffing, 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 and they just poof, all your buffs are gone. Of course, from their point of view, nothing more frustrating than being massacred for no reason whatsoever, I suppose. Alright, here we're just gonna do a cold blast, and then follow it up with a fire blast. Good enough. I love when they blink towards just before I ignite. It's like, you guys are serving me early, where's my bib? You guys are probably used to more of a conciliatory approach instead of just massacring everything that you guys care about. Well, you punch in my nose, I break in your face. Okay. Am I out of mana, or why did that not work? There we go. Oh man, this whole ziggurat is full of these fuckers. Alright. A couple shatters ought to finish most of them. I came back to life. Okay. I think we're in the clear here. Ooh, Ring of the Octopus King. Important for my collection of octopi rings. I clearly am doing well enough without stealth that I don't need to carry a stealth pair of boots anymore. And the rampaging is not damaging enough to my gameplay that I need to take it off. So, great. I actually like the rampaging, even though I don't know how valuable it is or isn't. Alright, 3 more floors. We're just about done with this 11th Zig. Oh, for the love of Pete. Too much mana, too much money. Haste, Brilliance, Magic. Great, we'll just evoke the invisibility and off we go. Oh, we weren't on the right spot. Okay, that's fine. Good, just charge them all the way in. Invisibility does help a lot against these Draconian types. Burn them all. Alright, charge them down. I apparently got hit by a net. That was unfortunate. You guys apparently all got killed for absolutely no reason. Charge it down one more time, and then again, torch everything. We've lost 30 HP, so clearly all their breath weapons added up to something. Okay, we're there. Oh, looks good. Okay. 2 more floors for things to go wrong. Alright, good. Very good. Okie dokie. And then there were 2. Oh, mercy. I'm gonna have to call it a night after this. Well, wandering dragons are still just dragons. Or dragonians, whatever. They don't know where I am. They all can die for the just die already. Alright, let's steer towards the center. And once again remove the alien scumbags. Jesus Christ, look at the number of updates this computer's having to do. Poor try. Alright, so he sees white, green, black dragonians, 2 black draconians, blue draconians, mock, 2 draconians, etc. A lot of shit going on there. And I would love to stay in chat, but I've got to burn all of you to a thin crisp of dragon taters. They're like potatoes, except made of dragon. Okay, I'll kill everything off here. You guys are still alive, huh? Quite a few of you, actually. I'll just torch you guys too. Just for good measure. Uh-huh. Oh, there's some good stuff here. Let's take a look at it. Gloves first. Nope, just awful. What else was it that I was interested in? I already checked this. No, I didn't check these. No need. And smoking cloaking, eh? Evocable invisibility on the cloak slot is very interesting, actually. I will hang on to that. I don't think I'm going to use it, but it's nice to have multiple invisibility options. All right, we're going to need to clear up some of this coinage. So I've made a macro that capital T just hits lowercase o like 40 times. So a couple presses of K can clear up both stages pretty nicely. Oh. Yeah, not interested. Let's just get out of here. All right, here it is. Ultimate floor. Let's hope it's fun and interesting for you guys. But honestly, I'll be happy with any outcome. I'll be happy with an easy outcome or a hard outcome. All right, here it goes. Nothing. Well, right off the bat, I have no information. They pretty much did the opposite of formation. Very good. Okay. Oh, I did not realize that could get pushed back. Oh, it's the aqua effect. All right. Well, let's kill everything. And in so doing, set the gold aura in play. I can't evoke flight, which would have been nice. I can evoke invisibility, so I will. Another torch, another pop. Drain, of course, is completely resolved because it was just light drain from the invisibility ability. All right. That was not the button I wanted. That was the button I wanted. Deeper and deeper so that I can torch everything. Burninating the countryside. Burninating the people. All right, there we go. All right, we're just gonna torch you guys. When I took out so many of your brethren, what made you think you were unique? You didn't even check how much mana I had left, or you would have at least waited till the iron was a little less hot. All right. Looks like the Zig floor just got cleared. Let's see how long it takes to pick up that gold. In the meantime, oh, of course. Will int +4, dex +2. Nice, but I've got better. I got int +10 on a ring, for God's sake. That's nutty. There's a lot of embroidered boots here. Any of them boots of running? No, I would have taken boots of running in this situation for sure. Nope. Not good enough for my precious. Alright, there we go. Ziggurat cleared, and I hope you guys feel that I made it look easy. I do enjoy, I found it very relaxing watching those swarms of enemies go down to my spells, so I'll probably do more of this before I'm done with this character. Alrighty. There should be, yep, a figure of the Ziggurat here, or Zigfigs as I like to call it. Okay, there we go. Evocable blink on a ring. I like the intelligence property quite a bit. Can we pick that up? Yep. Okie dokie. All right. So plus 10 figure of the ziggurat now is a plus 11. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.